What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Carter Love Jr. here, Raymond Lyons, Wilson Turpin Jr. Tough night for Washington's front court. Utah's front court was amazing in this one, leading the way to the 123-108 win. It seemed I was really impressed with Utah going zone in that second half, and essentially there are three bigs on the floor just taking up space and making sure that they dominated the glass. John Collins was huge in this one. For some reason, Washington kept losing track of Lauri Markkanen, which is usually, a problem. And Kelly Olynyk does what he normally does. He's always been on that list of Wizards agitators, if not killers. So again, a really good night from their front court. Cardell, was start with you and then Ray. What did you guys take from tonight's game?
Like you said, it started in the front court, the dominance in the front court. It wasn't just the scoring part of the rebounds. They out rebounded Washington 52-35. And also Utah's bench came up big. They outscored Washington's bench 47-26. Normally Washington's bench is pretty good. Normally they win that battle, you know what I mean? But Utah took it home. You know what I mean? You get 50 points damn near pretty much from your bench. It's hard to win that. And this is with Washington dominating the points off turnovers. They turned more 16, score 18 points. But that's pretty much the only thing they did winning. It's the same old stuff that's been plaguing them: lack of defense, lack of rebounding at times, and shot selection. You look at their three-point shooting. They shot 23%. Utah shot 41%. Kuzma 1 for 8. I mean, and the wild part is, man, the man had 26 and shot 50% from the field, but 1 of 8 from deep. So if he just took better shots, he's well over 50%. They might get some more baskets, control the game a little better, and it's a closer game. It's the same things where the Wizards just struggle to consistently do the little things that add up to big things over the course of a game that help you win. And we've been seeing it all season. It shouldn't be a surprise. I know it's a coaching change. I know we're going to talk about that as well. But you can change coaches. You can get Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, Popovich. It doesn't matter. The personnel is the personnel. And, we've been saying that until they decide to do the little things that's necessary to win. You're going to keep getting these results, man. But, yeah, Utah front court they had their way.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's hard to defend when you when you're taking bad shots and allowing teams to run out on you. And it's hard when you consistently it's hard to run an offense when you consistently taking the ball out the net because you're not defending. Yeah, like Cardell said, man, the front court just dominated in all aspects. I think Collins and Markkanen, they were a combined 22 or 35 for 51 points. Like that type of production from two players it's hard to overcome that especially with all the deficiencies the Wizards have as well. And again, the 3-point shooting, the shot selection, that's intentional, man. Like you pointed out, man, Kuz 50% from the field. You missed 7 threes. Like, why continue to shoot them? Like, I saw maybe 2 that was in rhythm. It was 1 late when they were kind of making that push in the fourth quarter that he missed. And then it was 1 early. I can't remember the exact situation, but the other 6 that I saw were not good shots. Like, so I would take those 0 for 2 in rhythm. All right, cool. Everybody missed shots. That's cool. But those other 6 shots need to be quality shots, him getting downhill and attacking like he was doing and being successful. That's 6 more possessions that they could have got some value out of that were just wasted. Just off of Kuz's decision making alone. And he had 5 turnovers. So that's 11 possessions he threw down the garbage. So that when you're when your best player and one of the leaders of the team is is taking away 22 possible points from you, yeah, you're gonna lose. It is what it is, man. So yeah, they, like Wilson always says, they are who they are at this point. Sample size is gone. 44 games in, and they're 30 games below 500. That just tells you how the season's going so far.
Um, I know we're gonna get to player game and the X factor, and then get to want to hear what you guys' thoughts are on Coach Keith's debut. Um, so we'll get to player of the game real quick. Are you muted, Cardo?
You can say marketing. I like what John Collins brought.
I was gonna
You know
say,
what I mean? I gotta go with him. He didn't score as much, but he had 22 points, 16 rebounds, 7 offensive. That's ridiculous. Only 11 to 15 shooting from the field. That's dominance, dog. Like that like he by himself, you know, this is the first game where Bagley didn't go crazy. You see what I'm saying? And it was because of him. So I gotta give him credit, man. You know what I mean? Like marketing got loose. He was hitting a bunch of threes. That's his game. That's normal. But John Collins having that when he damn near on a 2020 game, I gotta give him play of the game. He was the difference in a lot of ways.
yeah, I was gonna say this is like a perfect case study for those things where the points always don't always match the impact, right? Like obviously Lori's total is amazing, it's a lot, but how many of those came off of John Collins?
Mhm.
Offensive rebounds. During stretches when the Wizards did get any type of footing, there was that stretch in the fourth quarter. He fouled up his own shot, got a steal on the other end, two-handed slam another missed shot, and then hit the glass again to give Clarkson another opportunity to get a shot. Like that was, and he was doing that all night long, right?
No, yeah, I was going to touch on what you just brought up. That fourth quarter stretch where Wizards was kind of, gaining some momentum. He two putbacks, some defensive plays, and he's creating for his teammates like that. Like you said, man, the stats don't always tell the story. Like, if somebody just looks at the box score, they're going to, of course, go with marketing. You know, because most people that just look at the box score only look at one column, which is points. But if you're watching through the course of the game, yeah, John Collins' impact was indisputable.
All right, on the X factor for you guys.
Yeah, man. Look, I can't go marking on that. Like he bowled. I give him to him. But Kelly
Yep. Yes, sir.
Olynyk and Clarkson did,
Yep.
they made sure the Wizards had no chance. 19 apiece. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That's 38 right there. You know what I mean? Just off your bench. That's huge, man. That takes the pressure off. But it wasn't just that. Jordan Clarkson had 19 points and 8 assists and 3 rebounds. Olynyk, 19 points and 4 rebounds. You see what I'm saying? Like, dog, Clarkson put up, he gave you 19, 8, and 3 off the bench. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't win like that. You have no hope. You have no chance. The backup guard is giving you numbers that you will be happy with your starting guard. You will be good with that. They're food. I mean, I've been saying all year, bro. Like, have your way. Have your way. All you can eat.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. As good as marketing played. Think about how many stretches of the game where he was off the floor, and it didn't deter Utah one bit. He had good rest during this game, um, and the machine kept rolling. Right.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Utah reserves, but yeah, of course, mainly Olynyk and Clarkson. Like when you get that punch off the bench, like that's tough for the opposing team to overcome. You know, on top of the starters rolling as well. But like you pointed out, not Olynyk, I'm sorry, Markkinen had the luxury of being able to go to the bench for big stretches because what those other guys were doing.
It was an impressive performance from that front line and Jordan Clarkson. Like a truly impressive. That's what that was a well balanced team effort from those guys today, and they made life easier for everybody on their team. And they all made impacts on both ends. All right, wanted to get you guys' take on. We saw what happened today with West moving to another position for office, some rearranging or shuffling, if you will. Keith becomes the head coach, and my one little nugget before I give it to you guys is Cardell. You mentioned earlier, even if you change things, the root of the problem still exists. My man had to call a timeout less than 2 minutes in the game because they gave up a made basket. They gave up a make, like essentially a fast break make. Y'all go ahead.
Look, man, it's obviously it's tough. I just felt like he didn't really have a chance to even prove himself because he didn't have an adequate team that he could really coach, where he can really compete on a consistent basis, man. Um, Especially this year, he really had his hands tied behind his back. Like, you know what I mean? It's just they're rebuilding. We knew that from day one. You know what I mean? Once they traded Bill, it was a wrap. You see what I'm saying? And when he got hired, it was a different thing. Can you build with Porzingis and Bill and all that? And he had a little bit more success, but nonetheless, man, it's tough because a lot of people like he's the typical fan reaction is he trash, but I'm just like I would like to see what he does with a competitive roster. You know what I'm saying? Then I can gauge if he can coach or not. You see what I'm saying? Or if he can elevate a team or not. You can't elevate a team that's just drastically less talented than other teams. Like teams can come in here and just come to DC and just, go through the motions and whatnot and beat them by 20. And they don't even play well. They don't even play defense well. It's been a consistent theme with that. Now I get it in the sense where you can blame him in the sense where there wasn't a spark at any point this year where you could just look at, all right, it was extra intensity or certain guys elevated. It was just a steady, it didn't get worse. It started bad and it just stayed like that. It didn't get worse, but it didn't get better. And that's where you can I can look at him. But like I said, he didn't have the talent to really even try to make a leap. He didn't, clearly the leadership isn't there either. We just got to call it what it is, man. It's no disrespect to nobody because certain things that are allowed wouldn't be allowed if leadership was there. Which is one thing we all talk about: shot selection, defensive misses, and stuff like that. Guys will be going at each other, so holding each other accountable. You don't see that, man. But at the end of the day, man, it's a results-based business. When you have a 37% record overall as a coach, new management come in, it's gonna be tough to keep your job, man. It is what it is, and I respect the fact that they ain't just fire him outright; they gave him a chance, and I respect the fact that they respected his family name and their impact with this franchise in this area, and not just like, man, get the hell out of here. See you later. Now we're gonna keep you on board. We're gonna keep you within the organization, but we gotta move somewhere else, coaching wise, man. Especially with them building up, they probably gonna need they gonna need somebody else that can build a team. I think he's more equipped to coach a more veteran-laden roster, that's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's equipped to develop a team and get them ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he hasn't been around long enough with this regime to even get that. So, like I said, a lot of things went against him from the jump. And it's sad in the history of, just calling it what it is, the history of a lot of black coaches. This is these are the type of jobs that they got to start with. And they got work miracles to to prove their case. And then maybe if they don't develop a team, get fired, they might get hired to coach a better equipped team, a team ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like people forget the Doc Rivers. He started with Orlando. Started with Orlando. Now, he did start with Orlando when he thought he was getting Tracy McGrady and Graham and possibly Tim Duncan, but it ended up being Tracy McGrady and a whole lot of role players and all that, and didn't go to it. So they was looking at him as a mediocre coach. Then he get to Boston. He had some rocky years with the early years with Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker left with the Miami and all that. But then when they got KG and all that, he proved, like I said, he could be a championship winning coach, and they got it done. You know what I'm saying, with that team. So, hopefully, if he wants to, he might be cool just being in the front office role. Hopefully get another shot at it where he has a fighting chance. Because I just don't really think he had a fighting chance. But with that win percentage, it's hard to keep you on board, especially when you just don't see any progress whatsoever with the team.
For sure. Right.
Yeah, I definitely understand the move, and honestly, I'm happy it's over for him. Like, that had to be stressful walking into this every day, but like Cardell said, they didn't just kind of push him to the side outright. They gave him position within the organization, and I think part of that is because they know what he was up against. Like, it's obvious what was going on, man. Like, and another point that you brought up, these are the jobs that black coaches get, and it sucks. Like, you get the undesirable openings, and then you gotta you gotta make gourmet meals with with fast food ingredients. Like, it is 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna work out. Then you gotta go through basically trudging through mediocrity, and hopefully somebody will take a chance on you down the line. But very rarely does somebody walk into one of these positions and right the ship and have success. Hopefully we'll see that start to change. But yeah, man, it was a tough road for Wes. Yeah, I don't just seeing how he operates. This probably wasn't the situation for him. Like, they probably need a guy that's going,
Yeah,
get at him, man.
yeah.
But now we see that when you get at them, they gonna get you fired. So where do you go? But yeah, hopefully Keith has more success throughout the rest of the season. And then whatever they decide to do moving forward, hope it's in yields positive results for the organization. But I am glad they're keeping Wes around, because it's not like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he's been in situations that have been successful, so he has something to offer. And hopefully he can make a positive imprint, in his new role.
All right, we're gonna get through some of these comments real quick. Area 11 T had this going, agreeing with what you guys were saying about maybe the fit just wasn't right, and especially talking about the state of the team. Um, both you, Cardell, and Ray alluded to some of this. Um,
But we don't know what his coaching style. That's what I'm saying. Like, he inherited one team and ended up coaching a rebuild team. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just gotta keep the buck all around. They even gave this man his staff. Like, they and it may not be this regime, but that last guy that was gone, they really handcuff a lot of black coaches, man. Like, we can't get into it too deep right now because it's after the game, but that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of factors I'm looking at where do they give him everything necessary to be successful, starting with players. Because if you don't respect the coach enough to kind of to allow him to at least build his staff, how you expect the players to, because they know basically he got one hand tied behind his back. They know what it is. It's like, why am I gonna report to you? I need to go straight to the GM because we know he controlling everything. You see what I'm saying? So, but these are the jobs a lot of black coaches got to start with, man. And then if you do get to a team, it's gonna. It seems like when you try to implement your style, they fight you. Well, this is a whole nother conversation. We don't want to get too red on this.
We'll make sure we touch on this conversation after the game on Saturday, the next road game. We have a little bit more time to delve into this topic because it's very, very relevant considering what just happened across sports, not just in NBA. It is an uphill battle as a whole. It's almost like literally you get set up to fail. If you succeed, it's a shock and a surprise, but then you better win it all really quick, or someone else gets a chance to take your pieces and more time in a row and resources. Fun times. Some of the other comments, wish him nothing but the best going forward for sure. I'm gonna leave that up there for what it is, Michael Kirksey.
Hey, some of them they need to do that. I would love to see that happen because it was an all-star point guard a few years ago that said we don't really need a coach.
Boy.
We see how that turned out.
Yeah.
They just want to check something about some of these players. Area 11, he said that's what makes politics and sports terrible.
Look, man, with any team, especially in pro sports, if you want to hire somebody, respect them to do their job.
Yep.
So they prove otherwise. Otherwise, you do the job. Why hire them?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's my biggest pet peeve across professional sports. I don't care what the color someone is, but especially when they're minority. If you're going to hire them, let them pick their freaking staff. Let them go out or succeed or fail on their own merit. Don't tell me what I have to work with. I might hate every single one of these dudes, and we might all just not like each other. How do you know they're a good fit for me? We really might not vibe at all, and the players are going to feel that. And then some players are not mature enough to handle because then it's full substitute teacher fives, and we don't have a chance in hell of doing anything.
They going
anything at all. And it all started because you started messing with something that you had no business messing with. If you go, like you say, Carter, if you're going to hire me to do it, let me do it my way and let me succeed or fail my way. Give me the resources or don't give me the resources to do what I need to do, but let me go out my way. And yeah, I don't like that part.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So I understand. I understand the front office. They're gonna pick the players. You know what I'm saying, based on and ownership. Do they want to spend money on a certain player and all that? Yeah, they're gonna consult with the coach. Coaches not gonna really have a full say so in that area. But dog, he gotta be able to trust his staff. You hire dudes. I don't know this dude. He probably snitching everything, man. Like going back with her, Mark Jackson. And he the one that built that franchise, got it going, got that dynasty going. He can't even get a job no more because some assistants, dog, it's bad. It's bad being, man. Woof. It's tough being a black coach, dog. It's tough.
Tough is a hell of an understatement. You almost can't win. And then when you do this, there's always something at the end of it. But again, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We appreciate each and every comment. We appreciate y'all hanging with us during a very, very, very tough season to watch. And we appreciate you guys going forward. Look forward to continue this conversation that we started to have tonight because we will have time to do it. But again, for Washington, tough one tonight. The next time they're at home, they got the Clippers, but they on the road on Saturday, taking on the Detroit Pistons, which, take for that what you will. Last time they faced the Pistons, they lost, so we'll just leave that where that is. But y'all have a great evening.